Thanks for stopping by. We're going to tell a story today about my great great grandmother, and her name is Sophronia Hatch. And I have a helper here. This is Olivia, and she is my granddaughter, so that means that Sophronia is her great 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 grandmother, and she's helping me today, and she has a picture of Sophronia Hatch there that she has ready there. So, Sophronia Hatch was the daughter of Josephus and Melinda Hatch, and Sophronia was born in Bristol, Vermont in October of 1834. Now, when Sophronia was 7 years old, missionaries came to Vermont and were preaching the gospel. And at that time, she was only 7 and couldn't be baptized, but her parents, her sister Mary Rebecca, who was almost 14 years old, her grandparents, Jeremiah and Elizabeth Hatch, her father's brother, who was named Hezekiah. Let's get that back right. Well, you can still see her face there. That's good. Also joined the church. Can you get it there? And okay, see if you can get it to show up a minute there. So Hezekiah Hatch, who was his father's brother, and her mother's brother, Francillo Durfee, also joined the church. Now, in her own words, she explains that in 1842, they started their journey in June to Nauvoo. Now, let me just stop right there and say that I did find some indications that the farm that the Hatch family had in Vermont was actually very nice, and within a year of joining the church. They had sold it at a loss or a profit, I don't know, but they were wanting to join the main body of the saints. And so they set out June of 1842 on their way to Nauvoo. And they arrived in August, so it was about a 6-week journey to get there. They said that when they arrived at Nauvoo, they stopped at their grandfather's until father could get a house. So apparently grandfather had already gone ahead. Sophronia says that she attended school for 4 years during their stay in Nauvoo. In her own words, she says, "I have heard the prophet Joseph Smith preach many times. I was there at the time of the battle. The bullets were flying thick and fast. Most of the women were forced to go down into the cellars." Now they had difficulty getting started in leaving Nauvoo. Says, "My father, having had a horse stolen, we took what we could in one wagon and left our home in 1846. Our family consisting of mother, father, grandparents, my sister Mary, and one brother, William Edson, and myself, and also their mother's niece, because her parents had passed away, or her mother had passed away, and her father was gone off with the Mormon battalion. She was then 12 years of age. After crossing the Mississippi River, and while we were trying to locate the place where cousin Jerry Hatch had stopped, at which was called Lucy, and that's spelled Luce. As we were journeying along, our wagon tipped over, spilling all of our things. My sister at once went and found the place where Jerry was and came with a yoke of cattle and helped us, and we again started our way. When we arrived at Zion, we spent a very happy evening. To think we were there among friends. There were 5 families there in a little log room. Now, I should also mention at the time that Sophronia's mother was also pregnant at this time, and it said a week after we were there, mother was confined in a tent where they had to dig trenches to keep the water from running over her. It was raining so hard. Baby was born on September 24th of 1846. We stopped there for 2 or 3 weeks and then moved to a place called Sugar Creek. This is in Iowa. It was a place in the woods where all kinds of timber grew, and we could take a load to Montrose every week. Now, I should mention that in this place where the woods were, Sophronia's father had a skill where he was able to learn to make baskets. So I'm not sure what kind of trees they were or whatever, but he was able to make baskets and then take a load to Montrose every week. So you can see the way the Lord had blessed us. This is again in her own words, helping us to earn our daily bread. My mother and sister were sick all that winter, So it fell on me to do the cooking and the work for the family and take care of my little brother. My father bought a house in Sugar Creek, and we stayed there and raised a crop. In the fall of 1847, we started for winter quarters and arrived there on the 1st of November. We lived there through the winter, and my grandmother, Elizabeth Haight Hatch, died on December 15th of 1847. We then moved to Pleasant Grove, Iowa, to get ready to come to Utah. I attended school there for 3 years, and it was there that I first met Peter Tidwell. We were married March 2nd of 1852, at which time I was 17 years of age, Peter being 21. So I'm going to stop that right there, because next week we're going to have a chat about Peter Tidwell and then the adventures of Sophronia and Peter getting out to Utah. So again, thanks for stopping by. Thanks to Olivia for being my helper. We'll see you next week.